Hey, I'm building a $2 million a year business in public, documenting every minute. I made $170,000 last month. And the way that this works is I start with some Q&A that viewers leave on my channel. So you can actually have any question answered by doing the same. Then I do some growth stats over the last 24 hours. And finally, I round it out with some live strategy, which will probably be a mixture of churn reduction. And if I have the time, maybe I'll go into more stuff. But I got a really short day today because I have a big office hour coming up. So my main channel is 69,837 subs. Definitely check that out if you're new to it. This is my daily updates channel. Let's head on over to the community tab, scroll all the way down, then answer some questions. Let's do it. Nava IQAI says, I got no time to listen to you. Too much content. Make videos that are 2 hours so all the info I see it in one sitting. Very interesting. Maybe. Highgrave says, thanks, mate. Appreciate you. Ruth Bhavani says, hopefully you can answer in this next Q&A for the video. It's really possible to start an AAA with $0. Everybody's on the acronyms. I know most platforms require a subscription. The only thing I have with me right now is time, a laptop, mobile phone, and an internet connection. I'm learning about AI and we'll be starting out with AI chatbots to get reviews and then use the case studies to get paying clients and use the money I'll be getting from the paying clients from our website, trademark, business name, etc. I need an honest opinion, please and thank you. Great question, Ruth. What you're describing is basically bootstrapping. And actually, this is probably one of the easiest and best industries to bootstrap in. So bootstrapping basically just means you have $0 or something very low. You know, let's just say realistically sub $50, okay? Because the reality is, if you just spend a tiny bit of money on this, you will shave weeks or months off of the time you would have otherwise spent with I don't know, $20 here, $5 over there. Okay, just to be blunt with you, it is of course theoretically possible to do it with exactly $0. I just wouldn't recommend it. It's kind of unnecessary. You know, if you have any money at all and you put it into this, you'll go so much farther. But anyway, bootstrapping is when you take that money, use it to acquire, let's say, your first $1,000, and then use that $1,000 to buy lead gen stuff. Use that to make, I don't know, $10,000. Use a portion of that to get more lead gen stuff. Then maybe, I don't know, ops, system, software, whatever. And then basically you bootstrap. The idea is that you pick yourself up by the bootstraps. You actually it's like you're climbing a staircase or whatever that doesn't exist. And then you just step, then grab underneath your shoe and then use your own power to lift you up like a cartoon. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, it's definitely doable. My go-to would be, if I just had all the time in the world, I would so first of all, I'd acquire a level of knowledge that allows me to know what business problems are, okay? If you just have a bunch of time. How do you do so? You watch channels like mine. Daily updates are great. Definitely check my main channel as well. Now, we're talking AI automation here, so these business problems are going to be things we're going to automate away. And maybe this takes you like a few weeks. If you've been watching my channel for, I don't know, a few weeks, you're probably already there. Once you've acquired knowledge about business problems, I'd sign up to make.com or N8N using free methods. So make.com has a free plan, and N8N is also gives you the ability to self-host. There is a Make for Startups program, which allows you to make an application and then get 240,000 operations worth $600. I don't know if N8N has the same program or a similar one, but I guess what I'm trying to say is you have to use like these coupon methods of going about it if you have basically no money. And then, build out my systems, 3-4 of my systems in this no-code tool. And then once you're done with that, just send cold DMs solving problems, the same problems that you discovered up here, using these systems. And when I say cold DMs, I mean like record a video of you saying, hey, how's it going? My name's Ruth. I just stumbled on X, Y, and Z, or I've been following you for a while, or I noticed that you were doing this thing, and I just wanted to see if I could solve it for you in 30 seconds. I'm going to give you everything you need in this video, copy and paste it. Whether you work with me or not is totally okay. I just wanted to make sure you had it because I like you and I respect what you do. Then show them a system that solves some problem for them. Put it in front of them. And the fact that you're doing this via cold DMs, direct messages on social media like Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, that sort of stuff, means that your actual cost to do this sending will be zero. In terms of money, the only cost will be your time. And I would just set like daily minimums, right? Maybe I don't know, maybe like 15 a day. If each takes you between 5 to 10 mins, it'll be, 2 to 2.5 hours realistically of time that you exchange from then on to do the outreach. And if, you get 2 people responding to you every day, and I don't know, every third or fourth response is a positive response, you can actually absolutely bootstrap like a very thriving business with this approach. I see a lot of people with no experience do exactly what I'm telling you, and then within a month or so run businesses at like $5,000 or $10,000 a month. It's doable, obviously, and I'm not saying you're going to get it, but it's doable. So yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. That's how you do it with $0. If you want the guide on how to do it with $50, then just leave another question. It's way faster. Paul says, hey, I'm looking to build a multi-tenant system with a secure login that multiple different clients will log into and only see their info. I will need a form that my clients will see when they log in, as this will be for them to input their customers' info. From there, I want to have a database or Airtable that holds information and prices that will relate to the inputted info in the form. From there, produce a quote, brand the quote, and have it emailed, WhatsApp, text sent to the customer. Do you have any suggestions on the best way to build it? P.S. Love your content. Do you need a multi-tenant system with a secure login? Really? Because it sounds like you just want a quote form, right? You just want a quote form. Like, is this just overkill? You ask yourself that? Multi-tenant system with like a login system for your clients to presumably be able to log in and then fill out a form for quotes? I don't know, man. It just sounds like you want like a proposal generator. You might just be losing the forest for the trees here a little bit. That's what I'm seeing at first glance. But anyway, yeah, I think this is something you can build in like Lovable or whatnot. Lovable and Supabase in like 20 minutes nowadays. It's pretty crazy that you can do that, but yeah. What you do is you'd set up your little Lovable authentication, and then you'd use Supabase to do like the user handling, and then you'd set up some table, and then you'd use the ID of the logged in user to selectively show data relevant to the person who is inside. I wouldn't like have multiple tables for different people. I would just have one table. Yeah. Anyway, that's like the way to build what you're asking, but how I would actually do this in practice, I wouldn't do a login form probably. I would just have a form, like a type form. And then I would do this. You have a Google Sheet. Jesus, can't even spell anymore. I'd have a Google Sheet. In the Google Sheet, you have a list of your clients with all of the fields that you want in the headers, okay? One of these is your ID. This is basically your unique universal identifier for the client. So I don't know, let's say one of your clients is Nick. My ID is A2F, E96 or whatever, okay? Whatever. That's my ID. And then what you do is you have a form solution. So multiple different form solutions you could do. I'd probably do the type form just because that's what I'm most comfortable with now. Then you have a URL, which is like, typeform.com, and then / you'd have a query parameter, okay? Then it'd be like UUID equals, then you just have the ID of the one. I don't remember what I put in there. FE6. Okay. So what happens when somebody fills out the form, then you would catch it in a webhook in a no-code solution like Make. Then you would check through your Google Sheet, okay, for IDs equaling whatever the query parameter is here. And then when you find it, you'll get the row. You can add stuff to Sheet. And then you can also just, pull assets from, like this sheet maybe has a style guide or whatever, template, etc. And then send to customer. That's how I would do it personally. Yeah, I wouldn't muck around with the whole auth stuff. Why? Because I just think it's an unnecessary step. It's like way too much work, personally. And, if you just have different proposals with similar templates for the quote, then you could just, you have different proposals that are branded to this specific client, but then you have like the same fields, and then you could just like do it in a single API call. Suhari says, hey, Nick, I just built my first system called email outreach system, which is everything from getting the lead to writing the email. Now I'll use that system myself to get clients, lol. This is bootstrapping right here. This is what I was telling you guys about. This is how you bootstrap. However, my question is, if everyone on your channel and community reaches out to thousands of businesses, then won't we all end up emailing the same leads and sounding the same? How do I stand out? Also, top 7 niches, really appreciate the value. Will join your community after my first client, although I'm an N8N guy. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, man. Okay, I think Shashanka's got it, honestly. You're probably just you're like misunderstanding just the scale that we're talking about here. Like, I mean, how many business owners are there in like the United States alone? In any niche, really. And that's just one country. I mean, there's like 8 billion people out there. There are probably close to 1 billion businesses out there. I'd say maybe 1 in 8 people probably have a business of some kind. Obviously, you're not going to want to work with the large majority of them. But the point that I'm making is the economies of scale here are pretty crazy. And I don't think most people understand them. You know, if you have 1,000 people each sending 1,000 emails a day, that's still only 1 million emails a day. And most of them are probably not going to land in the same niche or whatever that you're doing. Yeah, the vast majority of those are going to land in spam. Maybe like, 20% of those actually get seen. You also got to keep in mind that like the number of people actually doing this outreach is way smaller than the people that you think are doing the outreach. So there's 2 different things here. 1, the market's way bigger than you think it is. And then 2, your competition's a lot smaller than you think it is, realistically. There's a lot of people talking about doing stuff, very few people actually doing stuff. I mean, of the people that are watching my video right now, probably like 1 out of 50 of them actually take initiative and go and do stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, your general point is correct though, right? Like you can't just, if everybody on planet Earth reaches out with the same approach, then yeah, it will definitely get saturated. But you have a lot of room and flexibility to change your approach, 100%. You got tons of room, tons of levers to pull on like the copywriting side, like the asset side, on like the niche side, on like the solution side, offer side. Like if you think about it, like there's like 50 variables to play with. And because there's 50 variables, the way that I'm always stuck on the math, but like the way to do the equation is basically number of options per variable times number of options per variable. Okay. Times number of options per variable. Let me show you what I mean. If there's 10 different niches that you could pick, and there are hundreds, and then there are 10 different solutions you can provide, and then if there are, 10 different geographies you could target, then, in order to get like the total number of options, the total number of different opportunities, I guess, it's 10 times 10 times 10. That's 1,000, 1 over 1,000. You're barely tackling the 1/1000th of the market. And these are all very conservative. And there are way more levers than just these 3, right? So yeah, man, markets are huge. It's crazy, actually, just how much opportunity there is out there. Okay, I'll answer 1 more question, I think, because after that I have to get on my weekly office hour. Mr. San Gotenks, what's going on, my DBZ bro? You are a goat for this? Hey, Hitchem. Yeah, Hitchem has been signing tons of deals in Maker School. He's been crushing it. Great work. One thing is I've been drowning in fulfillment. I find myself giving timelines that most of the time I don't respect, and that's hindering my progress for delivering and making good progress. How do you go about fulfillment from signing a client to delivering the project, and how do you go about giving timelines for delivery? Thanks in advance. I'm surprised you're asking that question because I think I covered that pretty thoroughly in Maker School, eh? Like pretty much everything in Maker School. Not everything, but like a big chunk of Maker School after the first month is just about this. Are you at month 2 yet? I don't want to pull up all your data or like your progress here live in front of everybody, but yeah, anyway. Well, you got to onboard them, right? So step 1 is onboarding. That's number 1. I talked about onboarding a bit in, I think, yesterday or the previous day's video. So make sure you onboard your client. Got to onboard them. What I do is I do a kickoff call where I walk them through all the platforms they need. Once they're done with the onboarding, and you cover scope and expectations and stuff, I have like a daily comms window. So that's like 12 p.m. till 2 p.m. PT every day. I find that's really important, and it's actually a good opportunity for you to like deliver progress updates and stuff. So you want to talk about timelines for delivery. Usually clients are a lot more likely to like forgive you on late deliveries and stuff as long as you're just communicative with them. So you could use my daily comms window, 12 to 2 p.m. to literally just go through your list of 5 clients and be like, okay, update Peter, update John, update Samantha, update Nick, update Hitchem. You know what I mean? When you say delivering the project, I mean, you got to do the work, right? Maybe that's the part that you're not fully understanding, like what the work looks like. I mean, usually it's like, I have access to everything that I need. So I'm just connecting various software platforms together, gluing them together, like in my videos. Another part of the work that I don't talk about as much as I probably should is I do like documentation and stuff. So I'll record Loom videos after I'm done with the project delivery and stuff. And then you actually got to like deliver. And I'll do deliveries. Most of the time, clients are either in my Slack or I just have like a direct line to the decision maker's email. So I'll just send them an email, like a delivery email that goes over everything about their project. This might take me like, 15 minutes to whip up. Obviously, I have a template. Then inside of the delivery email, I add all the documentation that I created, and then I invite them to try it out for themselves. And then, sometimes there's some sort of like revision. And then if there's a revision, you basically kind of, I don't know, kind of like loop back here. Then you just kind of cycle. Well, actually, sorry, you don't loop back here. You loop back here. You just cycle over and over and over and over again. And then, after they're happy and there's no revisions, then yeah, like you can get them on a different project or you can upsell them. You get them on a retainer or something. But yeah, my timelines are almost always 4 days, 4 business days for retainer projects. The value in a 4 business day retainer is, let's say you start on a Monday, 4 business days. I know it's kind of hacky, but 4 business days is vague enough that you could actually deliver on Friday and you could actually deliver on Monday. Because odds are when you start on a Monday, you're not like, you're starting at like 12 p.m. on a Monday. 4 business days, like 24 hours, Monday to Friday, takes you technically into the weekend, So you could, yeah, you gotta deliver on this, which always gives you an extra weekend, which always just gives you a ton of room. Aside from that, if you're not doing a retainer and you're just pitching like a normal project, I would just grab the timeline that I think is feasible, and then I just like add, 30 to 50% probably. Clients actually value the project more when you take a little bit longer to fulfill it. So, like, don't worry too much about the timelines. I would say I received a lot less pushback on longer timelines than I thought I would. Okay, guys, I am unfortunately too good, and I just answer all of your questions as opposed to cut it early and then you have some time for brand stats and the rest. So I'm just really quickly going to rush through brand stats. 83,342, and then I'm going to call it because I have a call. 2782 right over here. And then my main channel has grown by an additional 528. So 0.76% growth of the main, 2.28% growth of the Instagram, huge, and then 3.27% growth in the daily updates. I think that's because I called out my daily updates channel in one of my main YouTube videos. So sorry guys, no time today for the strategy, but it's just going to be churn reduction stuff anyway. Things are obviously going really well on that front. I think I went down to 19.3% churn, and we just hit 1,700 members in Maker School. So obviously the money is printing. I'll give you guys all a revenue update and stuff like that later. Have a lovely rest of the day. I will catch you all tomorrow.